Hello and welcome to the graphing review video. We'll be going over the best ways to graph as well as finding the equation of a line when given a graph. First, we'll start with the slope-intercept form as the easiest way to graph a line. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, as you see here, where m is your slope and the point 0, b is your y-intercept. The other way that you will be graphing is by plotting the intercepts. To graph by plotting the intercepts, you will need to find the x-intercept as well as the y-intercept. To find the x-intercept, you know that 0 is the value for y, so you plug 0 in for y and then solve for x. To find the y-intercept, you plug 0 in for x and then solve for y. Let's move on to a few examples. Example 1, to graph with slope-intercept form, you see we are given an equation in standard form. That equation is 3x plus 4y equals 12. To graph with slope-intercept form, we need to first get this equation into slope-intercept form, and we do that by solving for y. So the first thing we need to do is subtract 3x from both sides, so we get 4y equals 3x plus 12. And then divide the left and right side by 4 to get y by itself. So you'll get y equals negative 3/4 x plus 3. Our b in this equation is 3, so we know that's our y-intercept. So that's the point 0, 3. So we plot that here. And now we will use the slope to find the other point. Our slope is negative 3/4. So we need to go down 3 because of the negative 3. So we go down 1, 2, 3, and over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and plot our point. Connect them with a line, and we have our graph. Let's move on to the next example. This example, we're given x minus 3y is equal to negative 15. This once again is in standard form. We need to get it into slope-intercept form. So the first thing we need to do is subtract x from both sides to get negative 3y equals negative x minus 15. And then divide by negative 3 to get y equals 1/3 x plus 5. Our y-intercept is 5, so we plot the point 0, 5. So we go up 5 on the y-axis, and there's our y-intercept. And now we use our slope. Our slope is 1/3, so we can go up 1 and to the right 3 to plot our point, or we can go down 1 and to the left 3 to make a point. Since both of these can be negative, since negative 1 divided by negative 3 is positive 1/3. Let's look at our next example. The next two we're going to use plotting the intercepts to graph the equation. Here we're given another equation in standard form of x minus 5y equals 10. To find the y-intercept, we need to plug 0 in for x, which we've done here, and then solve. Well, 0 minus 5y equals negative 5y, and that equals 10, as we see on this side. So to get the y by itself, we divide by negative 5. So we get y equals negative 2. So our point of 0, negative 2. As you can see, we've plotted here. So now we need to plug 0 in for y to find the x-intercept. We have x minus 5 times 0 equals 10. Negative 5 times 0 is 0, so you're just left with x equals 10. So we have the x-intercept as 10, 0, which we've plotted here. And we have made our line. Move on to the next example of another equation in standard form of 2x plus 6y equals negative 18. Once again, we want to find the intercept, so to find the x-intercept, we plug 0 in for y, which we've done here. We get 2x plus 6 times 0 equals negative 18. 6 times 0 is, of course, 0, so we're left with 2x equals negative 18. When we divide by 2, we get x equals negative 9 for our point, negative 9, 0. Now to find our y-intercept, we plug 0 in for x, which we've done here. 2 times 0 plus 6y equals negative 18. 2 times 0 is 0, so we're left with 6y equals negative 18. And when we divide each side by 6, we get y equals negative 3. So we have the point 0, negative 3, which we have plotted here. So we connect our 2 points with a line, and we have now graphed that equation. Now we will go into finding the equation of a line when given a graph. So to find the equation of a given line, you must first find the slope. Then you must use that slope with any point on the graph and plug that into point-slope form. From there, you'll solve for y, and that will put the equation in slope-intercept form. So look at our example here. We're given a line with 2 points. The first point here is negative 1, 1. Second point is 1, negative 5. So the first thing we need to do is find the slope. And our equation for a slope is m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And as you can see here on each point, I've marked whether they're the sub 2's or the sub 1's. Now you can pick either one, as long as if you make this one x sub 2, both of them are x sub 2, and both of these are x sub 1, or vice versa. For this equation, I've chosen negative 1, 1 as our x sub 2, y sub 2, and 1, negative 5 is our x sub 1, y sub 1. So let's plug those in to find the slope. So our slope is going to equal 1 minus negative 5 over negative 1 minus 1. 1 minus negative 5 is the same as 1 plus 5 to give us 6. And negative 1 minus 1 is the same as negative 1 plus a negative 1, which is negative 2. And 6 over negative 2 is negative 3. So we have found our slope. Now we're going to use the point-slope form to find the equation of the graph. Point-slope form is y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. So if we take our x sub 1 and y sub 1 and plug them in to where they need to go, as well as the slope, we should come up with y minus negative 5 equals negative 3 times x minus 1. On the left side, y minus a negative 5 is the same as y plus 5. So we've made that change, and that's going to equal negative 3x plus 3 as we distributed the negative 3 to each part of the quantity. So now to solve for y, we need to subtract 5 from each side, and we've done that here, and we get y equals negative 3x minus 2. We can always double check and look at our graph and see if it makes sense. Since this is in slope-intercept form, we can see our intercept of y is negative 2. Right here, and it looks like that's at negative 2. So it's pretty safe to say that we are correct here. Let's move on to the next example. This one, you see the graph we are given with points at negative 4, negative 2, and 4, 8. So we need to find our slope. Once again, we have donated which one of ours will be the x sub 2, y sub 2, and x sub 1, y sub 1. So our slope is going to be negative 2 minus 8 over negative 4 minus 4. Negative 2 minus 8 is negative 2 plus a negative 8, which is negative 10. And negative 4 minus 4 is negative 4 plus a negative 4, which is negative 8. Negative 10 over negative 8 will become positive, and when we simplify it, it'll be 5 over 4. So now we're going to use our point-slope form to plug these in. Y minus y1 equals m times quantity x minus x1. Our y1 is 8, so we have y minus 8 equals our slope, 5 over 4, times the quantity x minus our x1, which is 4. So let's distribute the 5 over 4 through the quantity. So we're going to get 5 over 4x minus 5. When we multiply 5 fourths times a negative 4, the 4's will divide away, and we'll be left with a negative 5. So we have y minus 8 equals 5 over 4x minus 5. When I add 8 to each side to solve for y, we get y equals 5 over 4x plus 3. And we now have our equation to our graph. Once again, we can double check to make sure we're right. We look here, we see that the y-intercept is going to be 0, 3. Well, if we come over here, where it intercepts the y is 0, 3. Our overview, the best way to graph, as we can see, has been using either the slope-intercept form or by plotting the intercepts. Plotting the intercepts doesn't always work out nicely. So we want to make sure that they're going to do that before we commit to using that formula. And always read your instructions, as they will let you know how they would like you to graph. Remember, our formulas to know are: this is a slope formula, where m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Our slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, and our point-slope form of y minus y sub 1 equals m times the quantity x minus x sub 1. Thank you very much, and good luck on all of your assignments.